Father who art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come,
thy will be done
thy will be done
in earth
in earth
as it is in heaven.
as it is in heaven.
Give us this day
Give us this day
our daily bread,
our daily bread,
and forgive us our debts
and forgive us our debts
as we forgive our debtors.
as we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not into temptation,
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
but deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory
and the glory,
forever.
forever.
Praise the Lord,
Praise the Lord,
for he is good,
for he is good,
and his mercy endureth forever.
and his mercy endureth forever.
Praise the Lord God of Israel,
Praise the Lord God of Israel,
for he is good,
for he is good,
and his mercy endureth forever.
and his mercy endureth forever.
In Jesus' name we pray.
In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen.
Truly God is good to Israel, even to such as are of a clean heart. But as for me, my feet were almost gone. My steps had well nigh slipped. For I was envious at the foolish when I saw the prosperity of the wicked. For there are no bands in their death, but their strength is firm. They are not in trouble as other men, neither are they plagued like other men. Until I went to the sanctuary of God, then understood I their end. May the Lord add a blessing to the hearing, the reading, and the doing of his word. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. What scripture was it?
Psalm 73, verses 1 through 5 and 17.
Praise the Lord.
Happy Sabbath.
Let praises rise from the inside of me. May you delight in the inside of me. Come fill my life from the inside of me. Set me on fire in the inside of me. 'Cause all I want is for you to be glorified, for you to be lifted high. All I want is for you to be glorified, for you to be lifted high.
Snap with us, y'all. Come on.
Let praises rise from the inside of me. May you delight in the inside of me. Come fill my life
Let praises rise from the inside of me. May you delight from the inside of me.
Feel my life from the inside of me. Set me on fire from the inside of me. I shall wear a crown. I shall wear a crown when it's all over. When it's all over, I shall wear a crown. I shall wear a crown when it's all over. When it's all over, I shall see his face. I shall see his face. When it's all over.
When it's all over,
When it's all over, I'm going to put on my robe, tell the story, how I made it over. I'm going to put on my robe, tell the story, how I made it over. Soon as I get home, soon as I get home, I shall see his face. I shall see his face. When it's all over.
when it's all over,
When it's all over, I'm going to put on my robe, tell the story, how I made it over.
on, help us lift it up, y'all.
I'm going to put on my robe, tell the story, how I made it over.
Keep going, come on.
I'm going to put on my robe, tell the story, how I made it over. I'm going to put on my robe, tell the story, how I made it over. Soon as I get home, soon as I get home, soon as I get home.
Good job. Praise the Lord. That's the epitome of we don't need no music. Praise the Lord for those excellent selections without any music. So you know you got to be knowing what you're doing. And I surprised the Maximum doing that second one because they probably was ready though. They on top of it. They did a good job. Give them another hand. I'd like to say praise the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and peace to everybody that's here. Peace to everybody tuned in on the internet, if we got the phone line as well. Getting to another Sabbath lesson. Usually I could tell that I taught what I taught last night, but I didn't teach nothing last night. I was off Friday night, flying out here. So that was a rare break. And, but most of you know that we opened up a congregation last Sabbath. I was in North Carolina. So that's a blessing. That brings the total to 11 congregations that the Lord and calls us to move on. And I don't know how we're going to do the next one. We're going to try to do something from this location up in Oakland, which is, I don't know how we're going to do that yet because we ain't really, but hey, the Lord be making a way. We ain't really got no foundation, I say. We haven't been there at all. North Carolina, we was there last year, baptized about 7 people, so we kind of had a little foundation. Even last week for our first service, brothers there this week, whenever we open a congregation, we do our best to have somebody there every Sabbath. You know, unless it's an emergency, a brother gonna be there, because we don't have nobody in that area, Raleigh, Durham area, not far from where Shaheed from. We don't have nobody in that area that can teach yet. So we got to send brothers there from the different locations. So a brother drove there about 6 hours today from Philadelphia to teach the lesson. A few brothers drove there. So, but like I said, even last week we had a good first service. We had an impromptu baptism, baptized 3 people, married a couple, they got baptized. And then Brother Jediah, who was there, I don't think his wife was that pleased, but she dealt with it. He was there. He married the couple, but he had a son back in Philadelphia while he was in North Carolina. So it was an eventful day. So praise the Lord, everything went good. The wife and baby back at home, so everything was good. And we're going to get into today's lesson. But last week, I say the lesson in North Carolina was the goal is life. And that's all we're doing all of this for, is to try to get life, and that is eternal life. So we're doing this work. We going through trials and tribulations, trying to maintain serving the Lord so we can get eternal life. But to change gears, we're going to deal with some current events that's coming, and it comes up a lot because the times that we living in, we know times are bad, but they're going to get much worse. And we kind of know the way the Lord got it planned for us to get some safety, if it be his will. Because some people are going to have to go through the heat of the trouble, but a lot of people who know the truth, they're going to be able to get some safety when it gets real hot in the kitchen. And that's what we want. We want to pray that we can be a part of those that get to a safe place when the times get real troublesome. And this has been, to give you a little history on just Israelite teaching. Israelites been teaching kind of in error for the longest along these lines, because everybody know the world is bad, and it's been bad for some time and only getting worse. So when I first found out about being Israel in the 80s, early 80s, the brother I met, and I found out this was common thinking. I found out that we were the people of the Bible in 1983. And the brother who told me that, his thinking was that what we need to do is move down south somewhere and get some land and live on farms and be prepared for when the troublesome times come. And that was his thinking. I went for about 5 minutes. I was in college then, and I said, oh, really? So I thought about it for a minute. I told some of my college friends, I said, yeah, I think I'm going to drop out and move down south and be a farmer and work the land. They said, well, you can go to school for agriculture, don't you? They was trying to tell me. They said, boy, you smoke too much weed. But that I found out later. Even when I met Brother Bowie and brothers in Chicago, they had some of the Israelites in that era. They all had that era. Brother Bowie mentioned how Brother Stearns was kind of doing the same thing. Even some of them literally brought land. I know Israelites today that grew up on farms in southern Illinois, because the thinking was we need to get some farmland and hide out and be down there and work the land, and when the trouble start, we can sustain ourselves and have some food. Now that's a idea, but it's just not a biblical idea. The Bible don't tell you to do that. The Bible don't tell you to move down south and do all of that. The Bible actually tells us to do what we doing. Though, what are we doing? We trying to reach people, and that's what Brother Bowie said years ago. He said he didn't go for that because he realized that, hey, if everybody moved to some farm, well, who's going to be doing what Jesus said, and that is go forth and preach the gospel to the people. So that's what the Lord's ultimate goal is. And somebody got to go through the brunt of some hard times anyway. But the plan of escape is not some lightweight place that you can hide out in America, because the world is big anyway. But the plan of escape is, according to the Bible, a place called the wilderness. That's what the Lord got. And that throws out the other theory that in traditional teaching, because everybody got bad teaching. The Israelites had that bad teaching about moving down south and working the land and hiding in the mountains. That's what they used to say. We can save food up, and when the trouble start, we're going to run in the mountains and hide with the food. Well, I don't know how much food. You're going to have a whole lot of food. And how many people are going to be able to do that? So, but not only that, traditional Christians, they got a big false doctrine concerning the end of the world and the troublesome time. What do they say? Oh, they just sweep it away with one swoop. They say, oh, it's going to be a rapture. That's what they say. So that's their escape. Oh, it's going to be a rapture and we're going to all be okay. That's not in the Bible nowhere either. That's not in the Bible. But what is in the Bible, people do not take heed to. And we've been doing lessons on it for years. I had people call on a lesson that we did on TV, and they said, y'all talk about going to the wilderness, you're going to be out there and you're going to kill yourself like Jim Jones. Now, look, people that done stuff like that, But the Bible is telling us what to do at the set time. It's telling us that. So we're going to read it. That's the title, The Flight Plan to the Wilderness. The flight plan. Because the Lord, he got a plan on us taking flight at a set time. It's in the Bible. He got a plan, and it's not the most detailed plan, and that's what throw people off. It's not the most detailed plan, but guess what? That's where faith come in at. But it's definitely a plan, and he's telling you it's going to get to a point you're going to have to be looking to make a move. He's telling you that. And the move is not a rapture, and you don't have to worry about doing nothing until it get to that time, but the move is the wilderness. So we don't have to worry about going down south right now and doing nothing unique right now. So the flight plan to the wilderness, Matthew 24 and verse 15, we're going to read what Jesus said to let it be known that he definitely wants you to take some action at a set time. Jesus made it clear here. And this is why I don't understand why people believe in the rapture, because this rules that out the way Jesus is talking. 24 and 15. Go ahead, read it, my brother.
When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand.
Okay, the abomination of desolation, that's the very biggest sign to let us know we at the end and it's time to take some action. What is it? The abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet. And the average person that believe in the rapture never heard of this. They don't know nothing about it. They don't know. This is the key to let you know when to make a move, because they've been taught to wait on the Lord to do something. And if you read the Bible, the Lord always have instructed us to do something. He instructed Noah. He didn't tell Noah to wait till I swoop you. He told Noah, you better get busy and build something. Build a boat so you could save yourself. He told Lot to get out of Sodom and Gomorrah. And Lot even got some help from the angels, but he still had to make that move. And it wasn't no guarantee he was going to escape. And we know that because his wife didn't even make it. So it still was contingent on his actions. And to this day, brothers and sisters, it's contingent on our actions. And Jesus telling us when to take some action. He said, when you see this now, the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, that rules out. Now, we can read, matter of fact, back up and read verse 3. Let's show you what they asked him, what they had asked Jesus, and put it in the time frame of where we at. Go ahead.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and the end of the world?
So we talking about the end of the world. That's what they wanted to know. And that's what Jesus is taking the time to explain to them. The sign of his coming at the end of the world. He gave them multiple signs, but the big one is at verse 15, the abomination of desolation that Daniel the prophet spoke about. That rules out the Old Testament being done away with, because Jesus is referring us to the Old Testament concerning the end of the world. He says, Daniel the prophet spoke about it standing in the holy place, and you need to understand that. But go ahead, verse 16 again.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
Now again, if it was a rapture, why tell anybody to flee, brothers and sisters? There's no need for that. If the Lord gonna rapture you, he don't have to tell you to run at the same time. You notice the people who believe in the rapture, they never talked about running. They talk about they gonna be driving a car and the car gonna be unmanned. According to this, if you driving a car, you better drive a little faster. According to this, when you see the sign, this is what, Jesus is the one talking here. So it's letting you know it's going to be some action on our part. And it's not going to be cut and dry, even the escape plan, because some people just not going to make it. And that's by design. The Lord don't want everybody to make it, because he wants some people to be witnesses to warn people. But the majority will make it, and they're going to have to listen to this. He said, then let them which be in Judea flee to the mountain. Now that's specifically over in the promised land. So that's what that's talking about. But still, if it's up to them to flee to the mountains, that's letting us know it must be some security there. Because why tell me to flee to some mountain? Unless that's the rapture liftoff point. See, they never said that, had they? They ain't never told us it's a rapture liftoff point. So obviously this is something that Jesus got planned. He got something planned for you when you flee to the mountain. Because if he tell me to run to the mountains and don't take nothing with me, I'm going to be gone. That still ain't going to help me. I'm going to be dead shortly if I don't have nothing to eat. I don't have nothing. He said, don't bring nothing with you and all that. Let them which be in Judea flee to the mountains. Go ahead, 17.
Let him which is in the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
Okay, so wherever you at, you don't have to go back and get nothing out your house. You can have $1 million in the house. That's going to be hard for some people. Maybe, wait a minute. I got to make a withdrawal. Wait. He said, don't go back in your house. Go ahead.
Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes.
Now, if you're in the field, don't even go back to get your clothes. Because where the plan that Jesus got, when you make it there, you ain't going to need nothing. And it's the wilderness. And people find that hard to believe. Oh, y'all going to talk about the desert? Y'all crazy. No, you crazy believing in a rapture. That's not biblical. Can't find it nowhere in the Bible. I'm reading to you, at least so far, that Jesus is saying, drop everything and flee. That's what he said, right? At verse 16, then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains. Don't go back in your house. Don't go get no clothes. Verse 19.
And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
See, this is what I'm saying. It's not so cut and dry for everybody, because it's woe unto some people. If they got a child, if that's a woman that's pregnant, in other words, woe unto them that are with child, and to a woman that got a sucking baby, because again, this is so urgent. He's telling you to flee, and he's telling you things that will hinder your flight. He's just giving you, that's just simple elementary. If you get pregnant, that hinders you from fleeing. If you got a baby that you have to feed, that hinders you. Woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. Go ahead.
But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day.
So now, again, he's telling some people to take flight. Anybody who understands what's going on, you're supposed to be trying to take flight. And if what he's telling you, it look like it's going to be some safety in some mountains outside of where the land of Israel is, even just from this, because he's telling them to flee to the mountains. But pray ye that your flight, he said, don't be in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day. So you taking flight, but you hoping and praying. That lets you know again, it's not going to be so cut and dry. It's just automatically, you just going to make it. Couldn't be no rapture with a statement like that you got to pray that when you running, it's not at a bad time for travel either way, whereas winter or the Sabbath thing shut down there. But go ahead, verse 21.
For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Now that's the problem. Then shall be great tribulation. When did that start? It all started at verse 15. That's why that abomination of desolation is so important. It all started at verse 15. That's when it's going to be. That's why after verse 15, everything was throw caution to the wind. Everything was run, run, run. Everything after verse 15. Don't go back to get nothing. Run. Hope that you don't, it's not this way. For then shall be great tribulations like the world has never seen. So we definitely need to be trying. We see it's something to take flight from. It's something that we need to be getting away from, brothers and sisters. Because we're looking at hard times now, but he letting you know this is going to be tenfold hard. That's why he called it appropriately great tribulation, brothers and sisters. Now, see, we going through tribulation now. It's a problem. Everybody got problems. I know I don't even have to live out here. I know y'all got problems, especially the way prices are. I know y'all got problems anyway. That's why I thought about moving here years ago. That's a whole nother lesson. But I know everybody got issues. Everybody got tribulation, but what Jesus is telling us to take flight from is the beginning of what's called great tribulation. And it's so much trouble and tribulation the world has never seen. The world has never seen nothing this bad. But up until that, it's taking flight. That's why the title is The Flight Plan to the Wilderness. We know it's not a rapture. We didn't see that. And he already said, flee to some mountains. And the way God do things is the way he have done them in the past, brothers. So that's all we got to do is look at it. He got a place where you can be safe, but you're going to have to run there to get there. That's how the Lord do it. For there shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, nor ever shall be. Read verse 22. Go ahead.
And except those days should be shortened, there should be no flesh be saved. But for the elect's sake, those days shall be shortened.
Now that's the worst kind of tribulation. What kind? The kind where it won't be nobody left when it's over with. If the Lord don't intervene, because Jesus, see, this is all leading up to Jesus come. He gonna come after this is over with, but he gonna let it go for a time. And he even give you the timetable. He give you how long it's gonna last when it start. Great tribulation. And except he don't end it, except those days shouldn't be short. In other words, Jesus gonna have to say, I gotta go back right now and put a stop to this. When he do come, he said wouldn't be no flesh saved. But for the elect, the chosen people, that's who the elect are, he gonna shorten the day. He gonna come back. That's why it's called appropriately the end of the world. He gonna put an end to the way this world operates. Not gonna blow it up and it's not gonna be no more in existence, period. No, he gonna end the structure of it permanently, where they won't be able to try to blow us all up and kill us. Except those days should be short, and there should no flesh, that's absolute, be saved. Go to Daniel 11. We do good to go to Daniel because Jesus referred us to Daniel. So that only makes good sense, brothers and sisters. And how you going to tell me the Old Testament done away with and Jesus referred you to Daniel concerning the end of the world, concerning the event that starts the worst time in man's history, which is the abomination of desolation. He said, stand in the holy place. That's what he said in verse 15. When you see that, that's when it's time to let go. See, and that's the key. This is what people haven't realized who follow somebody like Jim Jones. Yeah, they didn't know nothing about no signs. See, so they could scare people into the okie doke because the Bible is telling you it's going to get so bad, you got to drop everything. But the Bible is clear on the signs letting you know when it's going to get that bad. So we ain't got to just guess at it. We ain't got to follow somebody to tell us, yeah, it's time. The world is going to end on such and such date. See, all somebody like us got to do, like I've asked people who's believing that stuff, well, when did the abomination of desolation happen? When did that happen? When did he stand in the holy place? They don't even know what that is, let alone that it happened. If you can't answer that, then you don't need to be running nowhere at this time. Keep your job, keep working, keep struggling until that happened. Just like some people even went beyond great tribulation. It was some people, when I was first in the word in the 80s, I ran into them in Chicago. You know, they was all in white all the time because they was following this guy that said he was the Messiah, Yahweh ben Yahweh. They was following him. And that's when I ran into a few of them. You know, they said, well, the Messiah is back. I said, he back? And my same question was, when did all this stuff happen? And they can't answer. They looking at me like I'm crazy. And now this guy they call the Messiah, he dead and ain't nothing still ain't happened. But that was key to me. This stuff haven't happened. We ain't had no great tribulation. Therefore, Jesus or whoever you saying the Messiah is can't be back. It haven't happened. The end can't be here yet. So we go into Daniel 11 because Jesus referred us. Pick it up at verse 31. Verse 31, because we're looking for the abomination of desolation, and Jesus said it was spoken of by Daniel the prophet. We believe him. So we're going to look at it. Daniel 11 and 31. Go ahead, read it.
And arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary of strength, and shall take away the daily sacrifice.
Uh-huh.
And they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate.
And they shall place the abomination that maketh desolate. This is what Jesus said. Now understand, stuff like this has happened. Similar stuff has happened that's going to happen in the end has happened already. So this event happened in the Greek days, in the days of the Greek Empire, I should say. A guy named Antiochus fulfilled it. He did some of the same. So that's how the Lord show you stuff. He show you kind of like a early, like he talked about an early and a latter rain. He show you an early prophecy and a latter prophecy. So nothing is new under the sun. So when it happened at the end, it really won't be the first time that it have ever happened. Because this guy Antiochus fulfilled it. But the key is, it's going to be identical when it happened at the end. So you got an example. So what's going on here? First of all, verse 31 said, arms shall stand on his part. So like Antiochus had, this man is going to have some power, some armies behind him. That's what it means. See, all this had to be relative to what we see in the world too. We see the world has got all kind of nations with armies, and they fighting, like Jesus said in the last days, wars and rumors of wars, nation against nation and kingdom against kingdom. And that's what it's going to boil down to. Whoever got the biggest army is going to run it. That's why I know it's people, it's people out here got secret societies and all that stuff. People talking about Illuminati. But in the big scheme of things, Illuminati going to bow down to the army. They all going to bow down. They doing what they doing. That's because somebody gave them freedom to do what they do. Somebody take it away. When the army take it away, hey, it's over with. And that's whoever got the biggest gun running, brothers and sisters. And that's what we reading here. It said, arms shall stand on his part, and they shall pollute the sanctuary strength. So it always centered around the promised land. That's the sanctuary strength. And shall take away the daily sacrifice, because that's what we had back in the day, and that's going to start again. And they shall place the abomination of desolation. They're going to place it. What is that? Because again, the man back in the day, he had some little idol that he brought into the holy place in God's city, in the temple. He had some type of idol. And we looking for the same thing in these days. Now we're going to bring it down because this is an early event. So in other words, this basically happened already. But it's identical to what's going to happen at the end. And that's what Daniel is going to do, because Jesus is talking about what happened at the end. What's going to happen at the end. Skip down to verse 40. Go ahead.
And at the time of the end shall the king of the south push at him.
So notice we at the time of the end and some fighting is going on. He just took it because, again, the Lord looked at it in a capsule like the important events, I'm just going to tell you about it. So he looked at the whole thing in one snapshot. So he done showed you how this thing then got all the way from the Persian and the Greek Empire all the way down to the end of the world, which we're in the days of the Roman Empire. It said at the time of the end shall the king of the south push at him. Go ahead.
And the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind.
Now this haven't happened, but we're getting closer to this, because that's what you got to understand, brothers. It's all centers around wars. That's how and why it would get to a point where all flesh is destroyed. Why? Because people fighting and trying to kill each other. That's why it's going to get to that point. It all centers around war. So at the time of the end, the king of the south shall push at him, and the king of the north shall come against him, because the king of the north is the one we dealing with in this text. Go ahead.
With chariots and with horsemen and with many ships. He shall enter into the countries and shall overflow and pass over.
Now you're going to be knocking countries off, in other words. Go ahead, verse 41.
He shall enter also into the glorious land.
He going to enter into the glorious land. See, that's important to understand. He going to enter into the holy land. That's the glorious land. And this is where the abomination and desolation take place. Go ahead.
And many countries shall be overthrown.
But not only that, he knocking off countries like they little league teams. He knocking them off left to right. Many countries shall be overthrown, because we leading up to world war. So this is what this is about. Go ahead.
But these shall escape out of his hand, even Edom and Moab and and the chief of the children of Ammon.
Now, this is real significant. The average person wouldn't know because this is the era of the wilderness. If you go back and read Deuteronomy 1 and 2, when Israel came out of Egypt, they was in the wilderness for 40 years. They was walking right around the outskirts of these countries out there in the mountains in the desert. They was walking around these countries. They passed by each one of them going to the promised land. So it's no coincidence that these countries won't get overthrown because the Lord gonna have his people hiding in these areas. When they flee, see again, Jesus didn't tell nobody to flee nowhere without a plan behind it. But our faith is gonna have to kick in because we don't see the full plan. We see enough of it to know it's there, but we don't see exactly every I dotted and T crossed of the plan. But he got a plan. That's why he said flee. And notice, these countries escaped Edom, Moab, and the children of Ammon. Now skip to verse 45 and read that. You can read the rest on your own. Go ahead.
And he shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas and the glorious holy mountain.
See, this is the bottom line. He's showing up. He's setting up his place in the glorious holy mountain, which he shouldn't be doing. He shall plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas in the glorious holy mountain. You say, well, this thing really got nothing to do with what Jesus said. It's exactly what Jesus said, because Jesus said, when you see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, stand where? In the holy place. Somebody moving somewhere where they shouldn't be, and it's the Holy Land. It's the Holy Land. So this guy is making war. He gonna make enough. You see, it's always fighting concerning the Middle East now, right? It ain't never stopped. You know, they might have a little lull in the fighting. Then somebody, all they got to do is throw a brick. And the fighting started, it just started raging. Because they ain't going to get no peace. And it's going to come down to this, and this guy's going to be trying to take it over and do it exactly how he want to do it. So he's going to plant the tabernacles of his palace between the seas in the glorious holy mountain. Yet what's going to happen to him?
Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him.
See, in the end of it, because Jesus is going to put him to an end. Because all this is leading up to Jesus coming. Yet he going to come to his end. But before he come to his end, he will have put great tribulation on the world. Great tribulation. Go right into 12 now. 12 and 1. Because we're going to see it's the same time. Notice the 11th chapter ended with the man setting up shop in the glorious holy mountain. Go ahead.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time.
Then what?
And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Okay, so notice that he said, at the same time the man moved to Jerusalem, which that's what the glorious holy mountain is referring to. At that same time, Michael is going to stand up, which is an angel. The great prince will stand for the children of our people. And there shall be a time of trouble like it never was since there was a nation. Even to that same time. So this is exactly what we read, Matthew 24, verse 21. He says it's going to be great tribulation, such as the world has never seen, nor will ever see again. This is the same time. There's only one time worse than any other time ever. This is the same time Daniel is referring to what Jesus said in Matthew 24. Then he said he's going to start to deliver his people. Then go ahead, skip to verse 7, because we want to get to the abomination. Go ahead.
And I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters of the river, when he had held up his right hand and his left hand unto heaven, and swear by him that liveth forever, that it shall be for a time, times and a half. And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished.
Okay, so now we getting a little time frame on this. Because again, the Lord spell out, because this can't last that long. Great tribulation on the world can't last that long, or else what Jesus said will come to pass, that all flesh will be destroyed. Because man can't stand so much wars that lead to world war without eventually them trying to kill us all. So man can't take it. So it's a time frame on this, and the time frame according to this is exactly 3.5 years. Exactly 3.5 years. And he gave Daniel the time frame. He said, I heard the man clothed in linen, which was upon the waters, when he held up his right hand and left hand and swear by him to live forever, that it shall be. This how long this is going to last. In other words, this how long great tribulation is. And we're going to see it repeatedly, so we're going to know it's true, brothers and sisters. A time is 1 year, and times is 2 years. So when you add it, that gives you 3, and a half give you a half a year. So 3.5 years. And read the end of verse 7 again. When he do what?
And when he shall have accomplished to scatter the power of the holy people, all these things shall be finished.
Pay attention who getting hurt in this verse right here. You should tell the rapture believing people this. Because some holy people going to suffer. I'm telling you. It's not cut and dry like we just going to be raptured, it's over with. That sounds good. It make you feel a little better about your situation, but it's a lie. The Lord is first of all saying flee, and then he turned around and said, and your flight is not going to be easy. It's going to be a lot of turbulence, a lot of trouble. And we ain't talking about literal flight, I'm just using it. Running, you're going to be running, and you're going to be running through like having to run through the jungle. He told you that. He told you, you pray that it's not in the winter. Pray, woe to them that with child and give suck. That means it's not going to be easy. That show you Jesus is not just making it okay. You're going to have to go through some circumstances to get out of this. This is what he's letting you know. So it's going to last 3.5 years, and notice he's going to be to scatter the power of the holy people. Because see, the holy people, which is where we stand at, because you're not holy unless you know to keep God's law, first of all. God's law is holy. So you're not even, you might be a whole lot of holiness churches around here, but they not holy unless they speaking about keeping the holy law. See, and we coming back into doing that. And we are gaining steam and gaining power, but the little stuff we doing, hey, in a little bit, they're going to knock all that down. They're going to knock it out. That's why I said when he should scatter the power of the holy people. That's who he really after ultimately. All these things shall be finished. Now we at the end. Skip down to verse 11 and read that. You can read it all on your own. Go ahead.
And from the time that the daily sacrifice shall be taken away.
See, they got to stop that, which they haven't started it yet. So we got a time frame on that. But they got to stop it. The man going to move into the holy place, the abomination of desolation in the holy place, and he going to stop them from sacrificing animals. And how long is it going to be?
And the abomination that maketh desolate set up.
Well, Jesus said Daniel spoke about it. And Daniel spoke about it so clear, he giving us a time frame on the great tribulation. Because again, it started with the abomination of desolation, stand in the holy place. That's when Jesus said, flee, go to the mountains, drop everything, don't go back in your house, don't go do nothing. Run, 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 run. He said, from the time that the day's sacrifice shall be taken away and the abomination that make it desolate set up, there shall be how long?
There shall be 1,290 days.
1,290 days, that's roughly, it get a little extra month in there from some of the other scriptures, which is 1,260. But still, we in the range of 3.5 years. Times and a half. 3.5 years. Let's go to Revelation 9:11 and look at it from that standpoint. See, if the time is going to become worse like it's never been before, you got to find out what the escape plan is. And the escape plan of sinners around fleeing. And that to the wilderness. Got to be somewhere. Jesus said the mountains, we're going to make it clear where you looking at to be headed to in the mountains. Revelation 11:1. Read it.
And there was given me a reed like unto a rod. And the angel stood saying, rise and measure the temple of God and the altar and them that worship therein. But the court which is without the temple leave out and measure it not. For it is given unto the Gentiles, and the holy city shall they tread underfoot for 40 and 2 months.
See, it don't get no clearer than this. We got the same time frame, 42 months, which is 3.5 years, 1,260 or 90 days, times and a half. It don't get no clearer than this. Now we all the way in Revelation. We left Daniel, we read what Jesus said. We're in Revelation, and he letting you know that it's going to be some trouble in the Holy Land. He said, in the holy city, we read in Daniel, Daniel just called it the glorious holy mountain or the glorious city. So we talking the same thing. Jesus said, when you see the abomination of desolation stand in a holy place. So Jesus was real specific. He wasn't just giving you the overall city, because we know it's a specific location where the man gonna be in the city. Because the man, that's smart. He know what's important to God. And he want to try to be like God. He basically gonna sit in God's house, in other words. That's why Jesus said the holy place. But the holy place is where? In the holy mountain, or in here, what he said here, the holy city. He said, look. So in other words, he's showing you that they're gonna build something over there, but the area that the Gentile man, which is this king of the north that we read about, this abomination, the area that he gonna take over and inhabit is actually gonna be the court area from the old temple. That's why he said, but the court which is without. See, they had court area and they had the inner court and outer court. So the court which is without, leave out, don't measure not, for it is given unto the Gentile. And the holy city shall they tread underfoot 40 and 2 months, which is 3.5 years. Go ahead, verse 3.
And I will give power unto my witnesses, and they shall prophesy 1,000.
Now he got 2 witnesses. He said he's gonna give power to these 2 men. 2 we call modern day prophets. He gonna give them some power to withstand, because if he don't, these armies that this man got, they would kill him easily. All this technology, they can find you anywhere. You can't hide nowhere from this man. Hey, they even showed you that. They went and found Hussein in a hole, way over in another country. Found bin Laden, stuck up somewhere. He cut off all communication. They still found him. They can find you anywhere. So the only way you could survive against this man, the Lord gonna have to give you some power where you could defend yourself miraculously too. They ain't gonna be able to touch him. He said he gonna give power to his 2 witnesses, and they gonna do what?
And they shall prophesy 1,260 days, clothed in sackcloth.
And they gonna be able to do it, even though people are not gonna like it. When they come try to do something to them, they gonna be able to burn them up with fire and all kind of stuff. They don't have no army or nothing. But they gonna do some stuff like Elijah did in the Old Testament and Moses and them was doing. They gonna be doing all kind of stuff. But now, the same time frame is 1,203 score. That's 1,260 days. Just like Daniel said, 1,290 days. He included the sacrifice. So this is the time frame of the Great Tribulation. And this is the time when this starts that we need to flee, and we need some protection for this exact time. So let's go right into the 12th chapter of Revelation. See, it's all lined up together. Great Tribulation is going to be 3.5 years. And being that the Lord is telling us to flee to the mountains, he is showing you he's going to have to specifically take care of you for 3.5 years in that isolated location. But you got to take flight to get there. There's no rapture. And ain't no need to be saving up nothing. You know, ain't no need to be storing up food like some brothers say. I mean, even something happen now. You know, a lot of times stuff happen. They say, you know, people be at the store buying all the water. You know, and that's fine if it's only gonna last a few days. Yeah, get you some water. You don't have to go out and all that stuff. But if stuff start lasting months, your water gonna run out too. You gonna live a little bit longer than me if I don't have none. And it's still gonna be over. So what he's showing you at this time, brothers and sisters, we're gonna have to take flight, and we're gonna need some miraculous help. We're gonna need some God intervention on this. 12:1, go ahead.
And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars. And she being with child cried, travailing in birth, and pain to be delivered.
Okay, so this woman represents God's people Israel. That's why she got the sun and the moon and 12 stars. And of course, going through pain regularly, even up to the point Jesus was born. But now, ultimately, this is the plan for this woman, which is his bride, which is Israel, or you could call it the church. Either way, verse 6, go ahead.
And the woman fled into the wilderness.
Notice what the woman did. She fled. She didn't wait on the rapture. She didn't get swooped nowhere. She ran. Why do you have that? Because Jesus said when you see certain things to flee. If you believe Jesus, you're going to do what he say. So the woman fled. See, God ain't never had it where it's just automatic. He want to see your faith if you going to do what he say. He said put the blood of your doorpost on the Passover so you don't get killed. You didn't get destroyed by the destroyer. He always got a remedy or means, I should say, to see if you got some faith in him. And the woman fled into the wilderness. See, this is what Jesus is telling you to go. When he talking about going to the mountains, because ain't nothing, if you don't take nothing, you ain't going to last. But he got something for you out there. All you got to do is get there. That's why we know it. With that being the case, wherever we at, all we got to do is get there, and we're going to see that he's going to make a way for that. Not just people in the promised land. But go ahead.
Where she have a place prepared of God.
Oh, she got a place prepared of God, but it was not new because God took care of them in the wilderness back in the old days, and we're going to see that. She got a place prepared of God. Go ahead.
That they should feed her there 1,203 days.
Now, is there any coincidence that she's being protected for exactly 1,260 days, the same time the man is going off wreaking havoc, 40 and 2 months? We read in Daniel, it said 1,290 days. It threw in an extra month for the sacrifice being taken away. We read that the two witnesses going to prophesy 1,260 days, and they going to die if we'd have kept reading that at the end of their prophecy. God going to let them die. But it's 1,260 days. It's 3.5 years. We read in Daniel, it was a times and a half a time. 3.5 years. So while the drama is going on, those that flee will be taken care of. But the key is that you have to flee and make it there. When you see the drama. When you see the drama about to kick off, and we got a clear-cut sign, brothers. So we ain't got to flee nowhere until we see that sign, which is the abomination of desolation, standing in the holy place, which is this man, this wicked man that's going to take over Jerusalem by force and move into a temple that they're going to build there. They don't even have it there yet, but they're going to build it there. So we watching the news for all of that. It's going to happen. And that should increase your faith when you start seeing, you see him start building the temple over there, you're going to know, you're going to be like, uh-oh. Because it's going to happen, brothers and sisters. But now, skip down to verse 13, because he give you a little analogy here. Go ahead.
And when the dragon saw that he was cast into the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child.
See, the dragon is Satan, and he been persecuting Israel more than anybody, because Israel is the holy nation. Even Jesus, the man-child, came out of Israel. Go ahead.
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness.
See, just cut to the chase. The woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness. So this is the plan right here. This is the flight plan to the wilderness. Now, it's clear that he telling people to go to the wilderness. But how are you getting there? You getting there on an eagle. Do that mean literally? No. It don't mean literal, because we all not going to ride no eagle to get nowhere. Big eagle going to scoop us all up. No, it's not literal, but it's symbolic of God's power. And we know literally how she getting there, aside from God's intervention, of course. Literally how she getting there, what we saw at verse 6, it said the woman fled into the wilderness. That means she's on the run. And it's only going to be by God's power that people make it there. Because again, all the odds against you. Jesus even threw in some extra odds. He said, you better hope, pray that your flight not in the winter, not on the Sabbath day. You don't vote it in with child and giving sucking, all of that. So that lets you know it's going to be haphazard. It's going to be rough. It's not easy. Long way from a rapture, though, brothers, because there is no rapture. Jesus, we wouldn't be reading all this scripture. Jesus wouldn't be telling you to run somewhere, flee, get away, don't go back in your house for nothing if he gonna rapture. That's all a waste of time. Jesus, why you tell me to do all that? You know, I was running out there and you just scooped me up. That wouldn't make no sense. And rapture is nowhere in the Bible, brothers and sisters. So that theory, but again, what it do show, it's good they got the theory of the rapture. Not really good, but it shows some truth that they understand that it's getting ready to get real bad. They know that. They just gonna come up with an easy way out. It's getting ready to be terrible out here. But they done lured themselves to sleep saying, oh, well, we ain't got to worry about it. We're going to get raptured out. No, it's not that. He said, flee, flee, flee. You got to take flight at the appropriate time. Now it said to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle that she might fly where?
That she might fly into the wilderness.
That she might fly into the wilderness. She flying. And we probably gonna take some planes to get over in that area because ain't no walking from here. Boats, whatever smoking, whatever we can get on, I'm sure we're gonna be taking it. But the overall idea is that it's gonna be God's power. He gonna have the plan. It's gonna take some faith. See, but why shouldn't we have faith? We're reading out the Bible. We're reading that Jesus is telling you when you see certain things, just flee. And that's probably not going to be hard for some Israelites. Some Israelites, you mean I ain't got to go to work? They're going to be gone. They might call the boss just to mess with them. Hey, I ain't coming back. I ain't never coming back. I'm out of here. But look, he said to the woman given 2 wings of great eagle that she might fly into her place. Go ahead.
Where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time.
How many times we got to read that? That's 3.5 years. She is nourished, taken care. That's why we don't need nothing. That's why I got away from believing, because I believed that about 5 minutes the guy said, the first brother told me I was Israel. That's what he told me. He said, we need to go down south and work the land, brother. We need to go down, and when the trouble starts, we're going to save some food and run to, this ain't what the Bible's saying. The Bible's saying run, get to the place, food going to be there for you. That's what the Bible's saying. The place going to be prepared. And I got an example that God can sustain people in the desert. He did it for 40 years with the children of Israel. You know, they was crying all the time. We ain't got no meat, but you still surviving. You know, Israel, we want what we want, though. We don't want to just eat. We want to eat good. We want to eat what we want to eat. Look, but yeah, and that's fine. But when you get to the wilderness, I would advise you to let all that appetite go. Just take what you can get. So now, he said, well, she flew into the wilderness on 2 wings of a great eagle into her place where she is nourished for 3.5 years, a time, times and a half a time, from the face of the serpent. Because the serpent is ultimately behind this havoc. But he using man. Go ahead, verse 15.
And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. Mm-hmm. And the earth helped.
Now, again, what this showing you is that it's not going to be cut and dry, brothers and sisters. It's going to be some touch and go moments fleeing to the wilderness. It's not going to be automatic. You just cruising on a cruise ship and got it made. No, it's going to be some touch and go moments. In other words, people are going to be trying to stop you because this world system is really set up. Hey, if you don't do what they say, they ready to kill you. And it's going to be that dogmatic at this time. That's what we getting to. Because the man want to rule over all. So it's going to be touch and go. So he sent forth an army or something after to try to stop this flock of people that's trying to make it to a place that they will be secure at. That's what he mean, a flood. That he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. 16.
And the earth helped the woman.
But the earth gonna help the woman, which is the people of God. That's who the woman is. We're gonna make sure we understand that. Go ahead.
And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
And the earth gonna open her mouth and swallow up this army, whatever he sent after God's people. Just like the Red Sea opened up back in the day. But go ahead.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman.
Now he mad because he couldn't get the woman. The woman made it to that place and she's straight for the duration of great tribulation. For the 40 and 2 months or 1,260 days. Times and that. She okay. She being nervous. That's why Jesus said flee. He got to have some plans, brothers and sisters, if he's going to tell you to flee. But you don't get all those details. He just said flee to the mountain. But common sense tell you, if he tell me, don't go back and get nothing, because temptation will be like, I need to take something. I need something. I need some money or something. I got a few dollars. Got some cans of soup. That ain't going to sustain you anyway. So you wasting your time. And you can see Israel trying to have a little extra. I got a few gold coins. Can I buy some? Look, just leave it. Just like they was doing on when the Titanic sunk. If people had money, they figure they can buy their way out of it, you know. So that'll be the temptation. But the Lord, you got to trust the Lord on this one. Because nothing else is not going to be feasible. So the dragon was wroth with the woman. He couldn't get her. She got away to safety and went to make war with the remnant, because there's always going to be some left, because the Lord needs some people to teach and show people the right way still. With the remnant of her seed, and how do you recognize them? What do they do?
Which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
See, that's the few that's left. But they going to be in bad shape. I mean, they situation is going to be dire as far as what they up against. We're going to come back and find out. But before we get into what they up against, let's go to Exodus 19 and show you that this is nothing new. We'll come back to Revelation 13 later, show you what they're going to be up against, the ones that don't escape. That's why you think Jesus is telling you to flee for no reason? It's going to be rough out here. So you want to listen to Jesus and flee. But for those that don't make it, they're going to have to have some show enough faith. And some of them going to have it. Exodus 19 and 1. Show you this is not new. Go ahead, read it.
In the 3rd month, when the children of Israel were gone forth out of the land of Egypt.
So this is old days when we came out of Egypt, right? Go ahead.
The same day came they into the wilderness of Sinai.
Now they went right to the wilderness. They went into the wilderness once they got away from Pharaoh. And they stayed there for 40 years. So we know 3.5 years is not a big deal to God if he kept these people 40 years. Go ahead, verse 2.
For they were departed from Rephidim and were come to the desert of Sinai.
Now, sometimes people kind of say erroneously, the two wildernesses, it's two wildernesses. But really, it's not two wildernesses. I mean, you want to count wilderness, 100 wilderness, because all these, they had different areas, different names in the desert. But really what they saying is multiple trips to the wilderness. Some people going to leave before tribulation, and some people the rest of Israel, all Israel going to the wilderness after tribulation when Jesus come. Everybody got to go, whether they good or bad, they going to go. A lot of them going to die if they don't want to do what the Lord say do once they get over there. So it's 2 trips to the wilderness, but it's just one wilderness. That's all it is, just one area. I mean, now if you want to, they had different names for the different deserts over there. So, hey, you could name a bunch of them. Like it just said here, they came forth out of the land of Egypt, the same day came into the wilderness of Sinai. And then it said, for they were departed from Rephidim. That was another wilderness they called, little area. They had different names for it. But they traveled in all that desert area for 40 years in a big circle. For they were departed from Rephidim and would come to the desert of Sinai. Go ahead.
And that pitched in the wilderness. And there Israel camped before the mountain.
And they camped before the mountain to deal with God. What happened?
And Moses went up unto God, and the Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying.
Now, you up here talking to God. See, and this is what it was. They left Egypt and went to the desert to meet with God. This is the same thing, ultimately, God is doing for Israel in the end. You're getting ready to meet God in the end, because God is orchestrating this stuff, and we're going to see it. Moses went up unto God, and the Lord did what?
The Lord called unto him out of the mountain, saying.
What did he say?
Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, and tell the children of Israel.
In other words, tell my people what?
Ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians,
And
how I bare you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself.
See, God, he operates the same way, brothers and sisters. And he give Israel some reason to trust in him and believe in him. He said, you saw what I did. I gave you good reason to trust in me because I delivered you with a great deliverance. You seen what I did unto the Egyptians. You seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bear you on eagle's wings. There go that eagle again, and brought you to myself. But at no time did Israel hop aboard an eagle and go. Wasn't even no airplane, so he wasn't even figuratively speaking about airplanes. Wasn't no airplanes back then. But what he mean, he bare them on eagle's wings and brought them to us because it was by his power. It might as well been, it was so magnificent. God just come through like an eagle and swooped them out of the greatest nation on the earth and their army. That was the power of God. He said, look, I swooped you on eagles. But they walked out. Matter of fact, they ended up running. They had to run out. Let's look at it. Go to Exodus 13. Let's look at it a little bit. See, so that's how you can see it's going to be the same way. That's why Jesus is saying flee. And then it say the woman fled into the wilderness and she rode 2 wings of a great eagle. Because you ain't going to make it even fleeing without God's help. You wouldn't even know to flee without God telling you to flee. Lot didn't know to leave Sodom and Gomorrah in time except he got a message. Lord sent that angel to give him a message because that's the mercy of the Lord. He will warn his people before the drama. And it shouldn't be no excuse for people that's been listening to us for years because we've been preaching this for years. So if you end up not fleeing when great tribulation came, you didn't want to go. Because we've been saying this for the longest. And I know just reading it is one thing, but it's going to happen. That's what you should put into your mind. It's going to actually happen. And that's harder, it's harder when reality says, you say, wait a minute, this is really going on. What the heck? What? This stuff is serious. Like they say, it's going to get real. It's going to get real in a hurry, too, when it happens. So you should kind of prepare your mind for that. Because it got real right here. Exodus 17, 13 and 17. Read it.
And it came to pass, when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines.
And now God was leading them. That's the key. That's why I tell you, it's the flight plan to the wilderness. The flight plan is according to God's will on them eagle wings. We don't know all the specific. Like we don't know if who gonna be on boats, who gonna be on planes as far as us over here. We know we're gonna need some type of transportation because we took transportation to get here. So that's only makes sense. But we don't know exactly how that's gonna manifest, how that's gonna come about. We might have some ideas, but we don't know exactly. But it's okay because we know God is the one intervening at that time. We don't need to know all the specifics. We don't need to know. You can try to say, well, I'm going to save some money. You can save some money, but that ain't necessarily going to be your out. Somebody without no money going to make this trip. That's the thing. So right here, notice that it said that when they left Egypt, notice it was up until the point Pharaoh let them go. It came to pass when Pharaoh had let the people go, that God led them not through the way of the land of the Philistines, although that was near. So look at what he's telling you here. The most logical way is not the way they went. See, that would have been the most logical flight plan at that time. See, so that's why you got to really be trusting in God and let him lead you, because the most logical way we got to go this way. And notice that Israel didn't have a concrete plan up until leaving, which really, if they didn't have God on their side and was doing that on their own, they should have been ashamed, because you've been asking the man let you go for months now. That went on for some time, and when he lets you go, you ain't, which way we going? We going? We trying to go? Where we going? They ain't even know. They didn't have the concrete plan, but it was okay because all this was being orchestrated by God. They didn't have the exact plan. They didn't even know which way to go. The logical way, it said, no, God led them a different way because he said that was near, but God knew something. What God know? Finish 17.
Lest peradventure the people repent when they see war, and they return to Egypt.
See, going through the Philistines, God said, Israel's so scary. They see some war over there. They've been, we're going back to Egypt. You know, they kept trying to go back to Egypt. So God know his people. He said, I can't even leave them that way. Let's leave them. Go the back way. Go the long way. Because Israel's scared to the mud. But go ahead.
But God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea.
He led them about through the way, which didn't seem logical because we know the story. They got entrapped at the Red Sea. But God got great plans. And we know it's similar because the flood that the army that Satan gonna send out in the last days is gonna get swallowed up by the earth. Just like Pharaoh's army got swallowed up in the sea. Same thing. So God led the people about. That's the key. God is orchestrating this. And we're gonna wait on the signs from God, the direction from God to lead. Long as we know we going somewhere. Moses and Israel knew they was going somewhere. They didn't know exactly how. They knew they was going somewhere though. And that's the key. We know we going somewhere. So it said God led the people about through the way of the wilderness of the Red Sea.
And the children of Israel went up, harnessed out of the land of Egypt.
Hey, they went up with everything that they had, harnessed out of the land of Egypt. 19.
And Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had straitly sworn the children of Israel, saying, God will surely visit you, and ye shall carry up my bones away hence with you. And they took their journey from Succoth, and encamped in Etham, in the edge of the wilderness. And the Lord went before them by day in a pillar of a cloud.
See, the Lord was directing them. Go ahead.
To lead them the way, and by night in a pillar of fire, to give them light, to go by day and night. He took not away the pillar of the cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night.
So we're looking for some similar things, being that it's the same, because in Revelation it said the woman fled into the wilderness, but it said she bore on wings of a great eagle, 2 wings of a great eagle. So we know it's identical to God's power because he told Israel, I brought you out of Egypt on eagle's wing. Now, let's go to Hosea, the 2nd chapter. I'm going to throw this in here. Hosea, the 2nd chapter, because we're going to see it's the same people, same woman. Because Revelation talking about a woman. Back here, it was talking about the nation of Israel, which is that woman. Hosea 2. I'm just going to throw this in because it's all on the same path. Hosea, I think it's the 2nd chapter. Let me make sure. Hosea 2. Yeah, Hosea 2, look at verse 14 and 15. Hosea 2, read 14.
Therefore, behold, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness.
See, now this is future. And who is the her? This the same woman. This the woman in Revelation. This the nation of Israel. But this is future from Egypt, but it's the same people. He said, I will allure her and bring her into the wilderness all over again. See, the Lord is alluring you because you ain't going to have nothing else to do, nowhere, no other hope except to get on the Lord's bandwagon. And bring her to the wilderness and do what?
And speak comfortably unto her.
And speak comfortably unto her. This is that woman. Go ahead.
And I will give her her vineyards from thence.
And from there, once all of Israel come after tribulation, that's when, after he cleans everybody and get rid of the people that don't want to do right, then Israel going to go into the promised land. So this take it a step further. That's why I really didn't have this in the lesson. This take it all the way to the end. But go ahead.
In the valley of Achor for a door of hope. And she shall sing there.
She going to sing there like what?
As in the days of her youth.
As in the days of her youth, when what happened?
And as in the day when she came up out of the land of Egypt.
It's going to be just like it. And we just saw an example of when Moses brought them out. But this is future, but it's just like the old days, right? Go to Micah 7. Go to Micah 7. It's going to be the same way, brothers and sisters. So we ain't got to have all the details down pat because we ain't going to know it till the Lord show us. We ain't going to know it till it get to that point. Micah, the 7th chapter. Micah 7 and verse 15. One verse, read it.
According to the days of thy coming out of the land of Egypt, will I show unto him marvelous things.
See, it's going to be identical. Just like that, though. See, because this going to be even more marvelous because this time Israel going to be scattered all over the world. Ain't going to be nothing like this deliverance. But, so it's going to be Egypt magnified tenfold because we scattered out. But it's after the same order. In other words, it's going to be miracles. Just like we saw the eagle wings apply. It applied to Israel when they came out of Egypt. It's applied to the woman in Revelation getting away specifically from great tribulation to be fed for 3.5 years. So where we get a rapture from and any other thing is beyond me because it's not in the Bible. So he said, according to your days of coming out of the land of Egypt, will I show him marvelous things. This is going to be some marvelous stuff. Stuff we haven't seen after this order, brothers and sisters. But we know the same God that brought Israel out of Egypt is the same God today. He don't change. That's the problem. People don't relate the two. They think it's like they don't even know Jesus is the God of that Old Testament who brought Israel out of Egypt. He's the one. And he's going to operate the same way. Ezekiel 20. Ezekiel 20. So we're going to have, the biggest thing you're going to have is some faith. But at this point, you ain't going to have no choice because if you know God, it's going to be rough for you already. Ezekiel 20 and 33. Ezekiel 20 and verse 33. Go ahead, read it.
As I live, saith the Lord God, surely with the mighty hand and with the stretched out arm and with fury poured out will I rule over you. And I will bring you out from the people and will gather you out of the countries wherein ye are scattered.
See, this the big difference, brothers and sisters. Israel is scattered in multi-nations across the world. And God gonna bring us all together from one location. That's straight up some eagle wings. He got all kind of wings flying this time because we coming from all over. And he telling you this. So it's based on the same marvelous things that he did when he brought us out of Egypt, except it's magnified because according to this, we are scattered in multiple countries. He said, I will bring you out from the people and gather you out of the countries, plural. Egypt was a one-stop. It was a one-stop deal. It was over with. He knocked Pharaoh upside the head. It was a wrap. Now he got to knock the whole world upside the head to bring us out finally. He said, I'm going to bring you out of the country wherein you scattered. See, so it starts with us fleeing for tribulation, but it's going to continue when Jesus come back. He going to have his angels gather the rest of the Israelites to that wilderness. Go ahead, finish that 34th verse.
With the mighty hand and with the stretched out arm.
That's the eagle wing, brothers. It's with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm. And God worked the same way. So I know he going to allow man to do some things. In other words, God did not let Israel leave Egypt until Pharaoh gave him permission. See, that's how God do it. They didn't leave. God could have hit Pharaoh upside the head. It could have been over. It would have been a wrap, right? But he didn't do that. He made Pharaoh, he basically bent Pharaoh's arm behind his back and said, give up. You know how we say back in the day, say uncle. And Pharaoh finally said, uncle, auntie, and everybody. He started hollering out for some help. He said, help, pray for me too. So, but he did not let Israel go until Pharaoh said go. God said, look, I'm going to respect the order. I set the order up, I'm going to respect it. I ain't going to take your authority from you. You going to let them go though. And finally let them go. So that let me know how God do things. So it's going to be some people be like, y'all need to go. Y'all need to go ahead and go. And those with some knowledge, we're going to be like, you know what? You're right. Now, other people that don't know the word like us, they're going to be like, go, where we going? We from this part of our country. We from America. We ain't going on. All right. Y'all crazy. Y'all leaving. Where y'all going? Y'all know where you going. And we like, because once we see that abomination, we're going to know it's time to go. But they going to think we crazy. But the Lord going to bring all Israel on. He said, I will gather you out of the countries wherein you are scattered with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm and with fury poured out. Go ahead.
And I will bring you into the wilderness of the people.
Oh, to the wilderness. How do we have all this wilderness? Old Testament, New Testament, all over the Bible. And we believe a theory called a rapture that's nowhere in the Bible. Not one time is rapture in the Bible, and I would forgive them that if the teaching was in the Bible, if it just didn't use the word. But the word is not there, the teaching, the doctrine is not there. There's no swoop you up and it's over with. The swooping up, we're gonna read the swooping up scripture that they like to read, and it's tribulation over with. It's a wrap then. That's something else going on. The world has ended by then. Is being ended at that time, at that moment. So he said, I will bring you into the wilderness of the people. Why is it so hard for people to accept the way God got it? He got a place he could take you on this earth in the desert, and he could protect you and take care of you. He can make sure man don't bomb it. He can make sure you have food. See, God takes you to an isolated place where man don't want to be anyway. They were like, they out there, they crazy. God said, he got you out there. He did Israel for 40 years. This 3.5 going to be a cakewalk. I will bring you into the wilderness of the people, and they'll do what?
Will I plead with you face to face?
And God going to show up when it's all said and done. That's where he going to meet Israel at. But that's after Jesus come back. See, this going to go on 3.5 years prior to Jesus coming. Then when Jesus comes, it's going to continue. People going to continually to flow to the wilderness. Go ahead.
Like as I pleaded with your fathers in the wilderness of the land of Egypt.
Just like that. Go ahead.
So will I plead with you, saith the Lord God.
It show you it's on the same level, brothers and sisters, but this is something else. And we ain't seen nothing akin to this yet, so we know this is future, and this is going to start when the Great Tribulation starts, when we flee. Go ahead.
And I will cause you to pass under the rod. And I will bring you into the bond of the covenant.
And even, now this after Jesus come, because the covenant going to be solidified with Israel when he come back. People don't understand the new covenant going to be solidified officially. It was basically started with the shed of his blood, but it got to be, as we say, ratified, so to speak, with the people, and the agreement have to be officially made. Go ahead.
And I will purge out from among you the rebels.
Those that don't want to listen, he going to get rid of them. Go ahead.
And them that transgress against me. I will bring them forth out of the country where they sojourn.
Whatever country Israel in, he going to bring us out, and they going to make it to the wilderness. But if they hard-headed, what's going to happen to them?
And they shall not enter into the land of Israel. And ye shall know that I am the Lord.
See, the hard-head ain't going to make it in. Go to Psalm 107. But the most amazing thing to me in all of this is he going to bring people from all over the world, Israelites to scatter, speak different languages, don't know each other, can't even talk the same. He going to fix that, though. He going to bring us all together in the desert first. That's going to be some type of, what you talk about, a family reunion. That's going to be the real family reunion. Psalm 107:1. And it's a multitude of scriptures showing you this, and we opt out for some false teaching. 107:1. Read it, my brother.
Oh, give thanks unto the Lord.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
For he is good. For his mercy endureth forever. Let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Whom he hath redeemed from the hand of the enemy.
That's what the Lord getting ready to do. Starting with us fleeing for tribulation on them eagle's wings. That's the miracle right there. Go ahead.
And gathered them out of the lands, from the east and from the west, from the north and from the south.
That's the four corners, right? He said, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. And he talking about it like it happened, because when God say it, it's going to happen. He said, let the redeemed of the Lord say so, whom he hath redeemed from the hand of the enemy. See, we shouldn't even expect much here, because you should remember you was brought here by the hand of your enemy. You shouldn't be expecting, you fooling yourself thinking it's supposed to be real good. They just trying to be nice to you, but they didn't bring you here to make it real good for you. So you under the hand of your enemy in the land of your enemy until this time. He said, whom he had redeemed from the hand of the enemy and gathered them out of the lands, plural, from where again?
From the east and from the west, from the north and from the south.
This is worldwide gathering. And the first stop is where? You don't just go to the promised land, because we would tear up the promised land if we went there now. We'd tear it up and get kicked out again. He can't take us to no promised land now. He got to take us to a place where he can clean us all the way up. Go ahead, where he going to take us? Verse 4.
They wandered in the wilderness
Back to the wilderness,
in a solitary way.
See, God know how to straighten you out. He gets you off to yourself. That's why sometimes we need to go off to ourselves and talk to God. Jesus was sneaking off from them disciples. He was dipping on them. They were, where you at, man? He said, look, I got stuff to do. He was out there praying sometime all night. He said they wandered in a solitary way. They did what?
They found no city to dwell in. Hungry and thirsty, their soul fainted in them. Then they cried unto the Lord in their trouble, and he delivered them out of their distress. And he led them forth by the right way.
See, it's just like it was in the old days when Israel was in the wilderness. They went through some trials and they was crying about they didn't have this, but the Lord was going to take care of them. And he going to do it again. He said he led them forth by the right way. Go ahead.
That they might go to a city of habitation.
Because that's where the wilderness is, on the way to the Holy Land. But he got to straighten us out there. That's why he always do it that way. Isaiah 35. Isaiah 35. Isaiah 35. And we're going to pick it up at 1. You can read it when you get it.
The wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad for them.
Now the wilderness and the solitary place, again, this desert. People don't supposed to live out there. People can't live out there normally, under normal circumstances. Not for no not for no long extended period of time. So, but he said the wilderness and the solitary place shall be happy or glad for them. What do you mean glad for them? It means, look, the way the Lord gonna do it, it's gonna look like it's happy to greet you. Like, we glad to have you here. It's gonna start lightening up and stuff gonna start growing and blossom, which don't happen in the desert. That's what he means. He figuratively speaking. That's what he means. It's gonna be glad for them. Go ahead.
And the desert shall rejoice, and the blossom as the rose.
See, how do the desert rejoice? Because the desert ain't used to growing nothing. So it's gonna be like, oh, I'm happy to see you. Stuff gonna be growing everywhere. Because again, if you're gonna be protected and fed for 3.5 years, a whole flock of people from all over the place, it got to be some vegetation. Go ahead.
It shall blossom abundantly.
It shall blossom abundantly. Now, years ago, some Edomites, some of them know a little prophecy, and they be trying to act like it's being established and Israel is back home. They just lying. And they went out and planted some trees in the desert, some little box trees. They went out trying to say, see, the Bible said this was going to happen. That mess dried up quick, though. And it ain't took care and fed nobody. But they trying to establish something and try to say, that's what the Bible said. No, they not the people that's over there now. And when this happened, it's going to be a known fact. It ain't going to be no man-made circumstance around it. Everybody going to know it. He said, it shall blossom abundantly and do what?
And rejoice, even with the joy and singing.
He said, it's gonna be a blossom so much like joy and singing. Go ahead.
The glory of Lebanon shall be given unto it. The excellency of Carmel and Sharon. They shall see the glory of the Lord and the excellency of our God.
That's right. Go ahead.
Strengthen ye the weak hands and confirm the feeble knees.
See, because it's going to be rough leading up to that, so this is what we called to do, to let you know, hey, it's going to be all right after a while. Strengthen the weak hands and feeble knees. Go ahead, verse 4.
Say to them that are fearful heart, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance.
And that's what he about to do. But in the meantime, when we first go there, we're going to be waiting on this. And again, it's going to be so touch and go getting there. It's going to be a struggle. You're going to be out of breath when you get there. And then worried about getting something to eat, that's going to be amazing. But the Lord going to be able to steer you. Say, look, it's going to be all right. And this going to be over in a minute. God is getting ready to come with a vengeance. So you could see at the time frame that we reading here in Isaiah 35, this is definitely the people who fled from great tribulation. They out there and they struggling. They wonder what's going on with, man. And somebody gonna be able to tell them, look, it's gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna get through this little short period. And what we running from, because we gonna have been ran from something. What we running from, the Lord gonna deal with that in a minute. He getting ready to come with vengeance. We just gonna sit tight out here. That's what they telling them. They said, say to them that are of a fearful heart. Some people gonna be scared, like, what's going on? How we gonna make it? Look, calm down. Because if you'd have made it to the wilderness, you straight. Calm down. Look, be strong, fear not. Behold, your God will come with vengeance. Even God with the recompense, he will come and save you. Verse 5.
Then the eyes of the blind shall be opened,
Uh-huh.
and the ears of the deaf shall be unstopped.
That's right. Go ahead.
Then shall the lame man leap as in heart, and the tongue of the dumb sing.
Uh-huh.
For in the wilderness shall waters break out,
Uh-huh.
and streams in the desert.
See, you're going to be worried about getting something to eat, and the Lord going to do like in the old day. In the wilderness, water going to break out. This is for a particular reason. It ain't just water just in the wilderness for no reason. No, because God got a plan for his people, brothers and sisters. This is the only reason for this. Ain't no other reason. Verse 7, go ahead.
And the parched ground shall become a
The
pool,
parched ground that could nothing spring up on, it was parched, it was burned up. He said it's going to become a pool. Go ahead.
and the thirsty land springs of water.
And the thirsty land, that's what a wilderness is. It's a thirsty land. Thirsty all the time. It's going to become springs of water. Go ahead.
In the habitation of dragons, where each lay, shall be grass with reeds and rushes.
See, vegetation going to be growing, and not just a few trees to make it look like they doing something. No, it's going to be all over the place. It's going to be blossoming all over. And people going to be able to survive. A great amount of people. Let's go to 43, Isaiah 43. And we're going to see what this is all about one more time. But this is the plan God got for his people. He ain't got nothing called no rapture for his people. You can't read rapture in the Bible, and we can read wilderness all over the Bible, and people think we crazy. Isaiah 43. That's because they don't know the plan of God and haven't paid attention to it. Isaiah 43 and 18. Read it.
Remember ye not the former things,
The Lord said, don't even worry about what I did in the old day. Now, that was magnificent. That was marvelous. That was great. The Lord said, don't even trip on that no more. Because I'm about to do something that's going to really tickle your ears. You think that was something. Remember ye not the former things. Go ahead.
neither consider the things of old.
Don't even trip on the things of old. Why?
Behold, I will do a new thing.
The Lord said, I'm going to do a new thing. Go ahead.
Now it shall spring forth. Shall ye not know it?
Absolutely. Everybody going to know it when it happens. Even the powers that be going to know it. They're going to be amazed. They're going to be like, we can't get to them people over there, but look like they eating good. We got some satellites showing them eating, and we tried to, because they ain't going to be able to bomb or do nothing over there. That's why I said those areas, Edom and Moab and Ammon, escaped out of their hand. Go ahead.
I will even make a way in the wilderness,
I will even make a way in the wilderness. What else?
and rivers in the desert.
And rivers in the desert. Go ahead. Why?
The beasts of the field shall honor me.
The beast of the field going on the Lord. The beast going to be amazed. They're going to be like, whoa, that God is something. God is something else. They're going to start talking their language to each other, I guess. He said, the beast of the field shall honor me. What? Go, who else?
The dragons and the owls.
Why?
Because I give waters in the wilderness.
Because I get waters in the wilderness. Go ahead.
and rivers in the desert.
To do what, though?
To give drink to my people, my chosen.
Oh, this is the whole reason. To provide for his people. That's why when the Lord said flee, he got a place for you to be taken care of. That's why he wouldn't tell you to flee if he ain't had nowhere to take care of you. That'd be counterproductive. You running somewhere and don't have nothing. Obviously, he got something prepared, and this is what he got prepared. Water and vegetation in the desert. Now let's go to Revelation 12. Back to Revelation 12, and we're going to just get briefly into why it's so urgent, why you need to flee, more specifically, what's going on in the world that we have fled from, and what the outcome is. 12 and 6. Read that again. This is what we read earlier. We're going to read it again. Go ahead.
And the woman fled into the wilderness.
See, she obeyed. She fled there. But now we see all the stuff the Lord got going on in the wilderness. She ain't just going out to the desert for no reason. And the woman did what she was supposed to do. We read about a woman in Hosea. I threw that in. He said, I will allure her into the wilderness. And the woman fled into the wilderness where what?
Where she have a place prepared of God.
There you go. And we seen it all concretely. See, God gets specific. He don't just give you generalities. He's showing you how it's prepared. The only specifics we really don't know is exactly what bus you might be on and what train and what plane or what boat you might be on to get to where. We don't know all that, but we know the Lord gonna provide for that because we don't need to know that now. We don't need to know. I got a passport, but somebody don't have a passport. Hey, that ain't gonna stop them when this come down. So it ain't no, see, it's not based on our ability to do. It's only thing it is based on our ability to do, brothers. I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's based on our ability to fear God and keep his commandments. Because that's the only criteria that's gonna have to be to allow you to escape from this tribulation. That's the criteria. It ain't based on money. It ain't based on you having, some type of good saved up or material saved up. It's based on you being obedient to the Lord. That's going to be the key to get you out of here. So he said, and the woman fled into the wilderness, right? Where she got a place prepared of God that they should feed her how long?
1,260 days.
Which we saw already was 3.5 years, 1,260, right? One more time, verse 17, skip to verse 13 and read that. What I got, 17 on that?
17.
Let me see if that's what I want. Yeah, we read the woman got 2 wings of a great. Read 14 again, too. Go ahead.
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle.
So that's what helped her flee. The Lord put on them eagle's wings as she was running. He's going to help the woman. He's going to help us get away from this situation, this terrible situation. What is it though? This great tribulation like the world has never seen. So it said, and the woman was given 2 wings of a great eagle that she might do what?
That she might fly into the wilderness.
That she might fly there because she running. Go ahead.
Into her place where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent.
But one more time, let's see what's going on with the people that didn't make it. Go ahead, 17.
And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
See, the woman gonna get away to the desert. She gonna be in safety. She gonna be provided for, taken care of, eating and drinking, okay. Trouble all around, not gonna be able to reach them. But the dragon gonna go back and get the ones that didn't make it, because some not gonna make it for God's own reasons. Let's go to Revelation 13 and let's see the plight of the ones that don't make it. So we will know for sure that we wanna flee and we wanna make it. Jesus said, when you see certain things, run, so I would obey him. If he got it where you don't make it, then that's his will, but I'm gonna do everything I can do to make it. Revelation 13 and 5. Let's see the plight of what's going on. Why we had to flee and be protected for 3.5 years, 1,260 days, or 40 and 2 months. Why? What's so terrible? We saw great tribulation, but what did it look like? 13 and 5. Go ahead.
And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemy.
That's this abomination. This is what's happening. This is what you fled from. This crazy individual. Go ahead.
And power was given unto him to continue 40 and 2 months.
See, it's exact time frame. You know what I'm saying? This thing is clear cut. Exact time frame. Not even, you see it 5, 6 times. They don't even have this right. The tribulation is going to be 7 years. They don't even get that. It's 3.5 years, brothers and sisters. Every scripture we done read proved that. Time, and a half a time. 1,260 days. One said 1,290, a month difference. 40 and 2 months, repeatedly. So it was given him to continue 40 and 2 months. Go ahead. What is he doing for this 3.5 years? Go ahead.
And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God. To blaspheme his name.
He got a lot of audacity. He blaspheming God's name. Go ahead.
And his tabernacle. And them that dwell in heaven.
This is the one, and this is going to take place when he moved to the holy place. This is why Jesus told you to flee then. When you see this abomination, stand in the holy place. This is the one. What is he doing? Verse 7.
And it was given unto him to make war with the saints.
See, this is why Jesus said flee, because he going to be able to make war with the saints. But this is the saints that got left behind. This is when people had that movie about Left Behind. Well, some people will be left behind, but they're going to be smart enough to keep doing God's will and teach other people to do it. That's why God going to leave some people behind, because other people need some help still. God is always looking out for the less fortunate. See, if he took everybody that knew away, hey, the rest of the world might as well go to hell. And God said, no, I'm going to give them a chance. I'm going to lead some strong people, some martyrs. It's been martyrs throughout history. John the Baptist didn't do nothing wrong, but he got his head chopped off for telling the truth and preaching the gospel. So none of this is new either. So that should let you know even the rapture theory is flawed, because they act like all the righteous people going to be up in heaven in a rapture. No, not at all. The righteous going to flee at the time appointed, but all of them not going to make it. Because he said it was given him to make war with the saints and to do what?
And to overcome them.
And how long? Go ahead.
And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations.
That's a lot of power. All kindreds, tongues, and nations. He got some power everywhere. That's why we got to flee from everywhere. He got power from everywhere. We ain't going to be safe. You know, he said in Judea, flee to the mountains. That's where it's going to be imminent at. But wherever you at, you got to flee. He going to have some power. He going to get to you too, wherever you at. You can be in Washington, D.C. He going to eventually get around to you. Go ahead and skip down to verse 13, and let's look at some of the tricks of the trade this man is using. Go ahead.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he make fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
That's this abominable man, wicked man, this man of sin, the Bible calls him. He going to be able to do some miracles, great wonders. He going to make fire come down. God going to have some prophets make fire come down, so you still got to choose who you going to listen to. Decipher who telling the truth, because he ain't going to be able to do nothing they can't do. Go ahead.
And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast.
See, he deceiving them. This is the religious man. Go ahead.
Saying to them that dwell on the earth, that they should make an image to the beast, which had a wound by a sword and did live.
Go ahead.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast.
This man going to make an image come to life and be trying to get you to worship. And people going to be flocking to it and bowing down, because they going to think, hey, that got to be God. We never seen nothing like that. But he deceiving them. Go ahead.
That the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
See, this is why it's great tribulation. And you better not worship the image of the beast, because now you're on the wrong side of God. You're on the wrong side with God forever. So you better not worship the image of the beast. But he going to be telling you, if you don't worship the image of the beast, I'm going to kill you. That's great tribulation right there. That's going in, that's like, and you got examples. God had a great prophet. He let the people, he did exactly what they told him not to do, and let them put him in the lion's den. He'd be like, hey, whatever. I ain't going to obey you. It's better for me to obey God than you. God can hurt me worse than the lion's den. I'm going to do what he say. Same thing with the fiery furnace. That's going to take some faith. But if you think you're lacking in faith, you better get it together now so you can flee. And the most getting together you need to do right now is step up your game in serving God right. That's what you need to do. Because that's what God is looking at for people who get away, who going to escape. He made a promise to certain people. Go ahead, finish reading that.
And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond.
Both small and great. See, he don't even care if you got some money or not. That's why I say, you can say, okay, you got some secret clubs out here, you got Illuminati over here. Guess what he going to tell Illuminati? Bow down. He don't care. He said he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or where else?
Or in their foreheads.
So he got to give you a literal sign that you with him. Go ahead.
And that no man might buy or sell, save he that hath the mark.
So it's something you can produce on demand, brothers and sisters. It's not just something symbolic in your mind. It's something you can produce on demand. You can show them, whether it be a computer chip in your hand or whatever. I don't know exactly, but it's something you can show. Even at the grocery store, liquor store, wherever you going, is something you can sow. Because you won't be able to buy or sell unless you got that mark or the name of the beast. Go ahead.
or the number of his name.
Uh-huh, go ahead.
Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast.
Uh-huh.
For it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
Everybody heard that 666. We know in Roman numerals, that's one of the titles of the Pope of Rome. Vicarious Filii Dei, which add up in Roman numerals is 666. It ain't even hard. Back in the day, when I was a teenager, you know, Ronald Reagan was president. Everybody's like, oh, that's him. That's him, 666. And the only reason they got that, some of y'all might know, his middle name was Wilson, and it has 6 letters. Ronald, 6 letters. Wilson, 6 letters. Reagan's, that's 666. He would just be making up stuff. That shows you we've been stretching a long time. But we know exactly where it's coming from. It's coming out of Rome, brothers and sisters. But now, let's go to Revelation 14. Keep reading, verse 9.
And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice,
Uh-huh.
If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand,
Uh-huh.
the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God.
This is why this is such an urgent time. You don't even want to be faced with this if you don't have to, brothers and sisters. You want to get away from this time. And the Lord is making a way. He making a way, but he making a way for people that know him and doing his will. He ain't making a way for anybody. Because if you're not doing his will and don't know him, he going to figure you need to go through a little more something. But if you've been going through stuff now, see, that's what we doing. We got people think we crazy now. Even for teaching stuff like this. Oh, they crazy. That's a code over there talking about going to the wilderness. What do you mean going to the wilderness? They crazy. Hey, I'll be crazy. So we going through a little something now, so hopefully we don't have to go through it later. That's the idea. So he's saying here, that we read in Revelation 13 that he's going to be forcing people to take this mark or at gunpoint basically, or kill them if they don't. But now God is on the other end of the spectrum saying, you better not take the mark. That's why you don't even want to be faced with this. This is the old saying in action between what? A rock and a hard place. This is not going to be good at all. So it said here, verse 9, read it again. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, what's going to happen to him, verse 10 again?
The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God,
Oh, you're going to drink God's wrath. Go ahead.
which is poured out without mixture.
No chase at all, not mixed, not cut with nothing. Pure wrath. Go ahead.
into the cup of his indignation.
Uh-huh. And what does that mean specifically?
And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb.
That means Jesus is going to like to watch. That's what people don't know, this Jesus. It said you're going to be tormented in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. That means Jesus is going to be looking at you, but he ain't going to even care. That's why some people, they get emotional. Like, you know, I had even my father, he used to come to church sometime, come to class just to show support, but he didn't really seem to get it. He was telling my uncle, his brother, well, why you believe that? How you gonna feel if some of your people in the fire, burning in the fire? And my uncle, you know, I helped bring him in the word. He was like, hey, that ain't gonna be my business. They need to do what they do to stay out the fire. So, but we get emotional and think it's a personal thing. Jesus not going to be emotional. Jesus going to be sitting there watching people burn. It say in the presence of the holy angel, in the presence of the Lamb. Verse 11, go ahead.
And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever.
Uh-huh.
And they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name.
Boy, that's going to be the final straw. If you do that, that means you'll have a chance right there. Just don't do that wrong, and you can make it. But that's going to take some whole lot of strength. Go ahead.
Here's the patience of the saints.
See, the saints going to know better. Those saints that's left, they going to know it. They're going to be trying to encourage other people. That's why God got them there. They're going to be telling people, look, don't do it, don't do it. And if they catch one of the saints that know, hey, the saints gonna let them kill him to be an example to the next person. Look, just let them kill you like they gonna do me, and then you're gonna be straight in the end. But here's the patience of the saints. Go ahead.
Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus.
See, you need both. But this is why we running. This is why you need to flee. Let's go to 2 Thessalonians.
Skip 13.
Huh?
You want to do 13 or no?
Oh, yeah, read 13. My bad.
And I heard a voice from heaven saying unto me, Right, blessed are the dead which die in the Lord from henceforth. Yea, saith the Spirit, that they may rest from their labors, and their works do follow them.
So if you die at this time, if you let the man kill you, give your life up for sake of pleasing God, you got it made at this point. But that's what you have to do if you get caught up in it. But that's why we want to flee, brothers. So 2 Thessalonians 2, because who want to be faced with that? Either let the man kill you some kind of probably cruel and gruesome way, let him kill you, and you got a chance to get out of it. He ain't just saying, I'm going to kill you no matter what. He's saying, take the mark, I'll let you go. So you're going to have an out that you could take. Take the mark. That's all. Like, see, and this is what it's about. That's why you ain't got to worry about no sneak attack or none of that. Because some people say, well, the mark of the beast could be here. Somebody could already, no, it's not that type of party. The mark of the beast is not here. When it come on the scene, it's going to be a clear-cut choice for you to make. They want you to know you choose. They don't want to put it on you while you sleep in the bed. No, they want to wake you up and say, hey, you woke? Put some water on. You woke? You want to take the mark? They want you to know you taking it. You got the example with the three brothers in the furnace of fire. They gave them a chance. They were like, king, they wouldn't bow down to the statue when the music played. So Nebuchadnezzar did not put them in the fire like he said. Whoever didn't bow down, ain't going to put them in the fire. Nebuchadnezzar gave them a shot. He said, look, I'm going to give you a chance now. I'm going to play this music one more time. I need y'all to bow down. Because that's what he wants. He wants to show his power and show that, everybody's scared of him. They ain't even let him finish talking. They said, hold on, okay. Look. You ain't got to play no more music. We're going to tell you now. We not bowing down. And he was enraged and put them in the fire. So that's what it's all about. That's how it's going to be. But now let's look at the 2 Thessalonians, the second chapter. 2 Thessalonians, the second chapter. Pick it up at verse 1. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 1. Go ahead, read it.
Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ.
So this all about the coming of the Lord. We done kind of forgot that this is leading up to the coming of the Lord because there's so much drama in between. But remember in Matthew 24, we threw in verse 3, where the disciples asked Jesus, what shall be the sign of your coming and the end of the world? What's going to be that sign? And he started telling them wars and rumors of wars and famines and pestilence and earthquake. But the big one is the abomination of desolation in that holy place. And we know that's the man from Rome moving into the temple that they going to build. And that's when it's going to hit the fan. That's when we going to flee, when we see that taking place. It's time to flee, and we flee into the wilderness, and the Lord going to make a way. Now, he's telling these Thessalonians, I done told you about this stuff, and want you to be prepared that you don't get things out of sequence, because it's a sequence to these things. It's an order to it. So we don't have to do like some people do it and follow somebody off when it ain't time. We ain't got to listen to some preacher saying the rapture ain't no rapture anyway. But they done lied about the rapture so many times, and shouldn't nobody believe in the rapture. It's supposed to have been coming 15 times already. Preachers done lied, had people sell their houses to them. Got all the money. Well, you ain't going to need the rapture coming. They literally, as the people on the west side of Chicago, the news media got wind of it. They went to some house where they was all held up in saying the rapture going to be at midnight or something. They had the news camera. We going to see if they get raptured. That's what they said. They had interviewing the preacher. It's going to come. Y'all don't believe. Like you a false prophet. Of course, that day came and went. Them people went on back to work, tried to find them another job. Sold their stuff, gave up stuff. So we had too many people lying, leaving the people like to quote Jim Jones, what he did. Yeah, he deceived you because you didn't have no understanding of the scripture. This is what Paul is warning again. The signs got to be fulfilled before we let go and throw caution to the wind. Then we know which direction we looking to go. We looking to head to the wilderness. We already know. So he said, we beseech you by the coming of the Lord and by gather unto him that you do what? Verse 2.
That you be not soon shaken in mind,
Don't get shook up by some of these false prophets like people have done. This is exactly what he's telling you. That you don't be tripped up or soon shaken in mind, or what?
or be troubled,
Or be troubled by what?
neither by spirit,
He said, I don't care if it's a spirit. Some people say, well, the spirits, I know that's the, look, you got a bad spirit. There's some bad spirits out here. So I don't care if a spirit tell you, believe in the rapture. I'm going to tell you that spirit is lying to you. That's a bad spirit. You should go the other way. Go ahead.
nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that day of Christ is at hand.
He said, look, don't be shook that the day of Christ is at hand, imminent, before you see all the signs that we've been reading about. Don't let nobody take it out of sequence for you, because it's going to happen, brothers and sisters, but it's going to happen in its time, in its sequence. It got to happen in sequence. It can't happen before other things that got to happen. Go ahead, verse 3.
Let no man deceive you by any means,
Because it was already starting back then. Go ahead.
for that day shall not come.
That's
except-
absolute. That day, talking about the second coming of Jesus, shall not come except certain sequences take place. They got to happen in sequence. Go ahead.
except their calling come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition.
See, it got to just be clear cut, which people that fell away from the word, they don't know nothing about the word. See, a lot more people understood the word back in Paul's day than know it now. They don't know nothing about the word, but still we got to see the man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, or Jesus called him the abomination of desolation. Man of sin, that means he's abominable. A desolator, that means he's the son of perdition. That means both of them mean to destroy. And what is he going to do, and how we going to see him to know that we getting close to Jesus coming now? Verse 4.
Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God,
See, that's why he's going to be killing saints. Go ahead.
or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
See, that's the abomination of desolation, standing in the holy place. Daniel spoke about it. Now Paul has spoken about it. Everybody told you. Revelation, John spoke about them building the temple and the Gentiles taking it over, trodden it down 42 months. Everybody's speaking about the same thing. But this is leading us into tribulation, which is only 3.5 years, and then Jesus coming at the end of that to put an end to it. Because if he don't step in after the 3.5 years, they would have been to kill us all shortly thereafter. Skip to verse 8 and go ahead.
And then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming.
Then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume. See, he's talking about this man. He got to be revealed. So Jesus cannot come. That's why when the people talk about the Messiah was back in 1980-something, I was like, well, when this stuff happened? You can't show me this stuff. This how the Messiah going to show up to finish this man off. Then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth and destroy him with the brightness of his coming. So Jesus coming specifically to put an end to this man who done wreaked havoc for 3.5 years. How come we don't know this in our average church, brothers? That's really elementary. This should be Bible 101. Go ahead, verse 9.
Even him whose coming is after the working of Satan,
Talking about that man. I seen Farrakhan mess this up. He said, see the Messiah coming, and see when he do come, he going to be coming after the working. No, it ain't talking about Jesus. It's going back to the man he was talking about. It's talking about the man himself who going to be doing the dirt, who Jesus going to destroy. It just reverted back because he been the topic of the conversation. Jesus is going to destroy him. Him who? Even him who's coming is after the working of Satan with all what again?
with all power and signs and lying wonders.
That's that he going to bring fire down. He going to make an image talk and all that. Same stuff we done saw. This got to happen. That's happening during tribulation. This is all the stuff that's going on why those of us that have fled are in a place of safety in the wilderness for that 3.5 years. Let's go to Matthew 24, and we wrapping it up. Matthew 24. We just going to rehash it one more time. Verse 15. Matthew 24. And this is where we started at to show this is urgent. But we know exactly what this abomination is now, if you didn't know. 24 and 15, read it.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet.
Well, we did ourselves a favor and went and read Daniel, made sure that's true. Jesus can't lie. So he talking about an end time event in Daniel the prophet, and we're going to let a pastor say the Old Testament done away with. We don't need it. People just been deceived coming and going. When you see that abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet, when you see it, do what though?
Stand in the holy place.
Stand in the holy place. That's that temple that we just read that the man gonna move to. And how important is this for you to understand? Go ahead.
Whoso readeth, let him understand.
Whoso readeth, let him understand. That's real important, brothers and sisters. We should know what this means. Like we just explained that it's this wicked man that's going to move from Rome to a temple that they're going to build in Jerusalem. Go ahead, verse 16. But when you see this abomination of desolation stand in the holy place, or as Paul called him, the man of sin. They're all men of sin, but he is the man of sin. The son of perdition in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. When you see that, what should your mindset be? Verse 16.
Then let them which be in Judea flee into the mountains.
That's when it's time to flee. And we know how that turned out. He got a place prepared in the wilderness. Skip to verse 20 and read it.
But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day.
Because you're taking flight and you want to hope that your flight is easy as possible when you're trying to run from something dangerous. That's what it is. But again, you're running. How we don't know we supposed to run when this trouble started is beyond me, because it's crystal clear here. But when you've been duped, somebody tell you, oh, it's a rapture, don't worry about it. And you just go back to sleep. Oh, okay. I ain't got to worry about it. And people don't even want to get into it. Years ago, I tried to read some stuff like in Revelation to this sister. She lived in my apartment building in Chicago. And we used to talk from time to time. And I was trying to read some stuff to her about Revelation. She was like, oh, that's too scary. I don't want to know that. Well, what you think it's in the Bible? It's in the Bible. Yeah, it's scary, but you need to know it so you can do what's necessary to avoid it. But now, he said, pray you your flight. You taking flight. The title of the lesson, the flight plan to the wilderness. God got a clear-cut plan, brothers and sisters. All the details are not in yet, but it's definitely a plan that we need to flee. Go ahead, 21. Why?
For then shall be great tribulation.
Then, when the abomination of desolation moved to the holy place, or the man of sin, the son of perdition in the temple. Then shall be great tribulation. How bad again?
Such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
It will never be another time that bad. It never has been and never will be again. Skip to verse 29, because now we finally getting to Jesus coming, because he got to come after that 3.5 years to put an end to this madness. Go ahead.
Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened.
Now here comes Jesus. Go ahead.
And the moon shall not give her light.
Now this is after tribulation, and people try to accredit something that Jesus is doing after tribulation to a secret rapture before tribulation. That's so crazy. And that's where you can press them. We didn't press people up against the wall. So what you trying to say? Jesus coming 3 times then, huh? Well, he got his second coming and a third coming, right? Because that's really what they saying, brothers and sisters. If they telling you he rapturing you in heaven, when you start asking them questions, they can't answer. Well, it's going to be a rapture where he coming down to rapture you, and then he going to come back again. Yeah, something like that. Because they don't understand. They don't understand what they believe in. Jesus is only making 1 second coming. And it's after the trouble is over with. So if you waiting to get raptured when Jesus come, you already then got killed in doing tribulation if you was fortunate enough to believe and not take the mark. or you already then took the mark, which is hopefully I don't hope nobody do that. Because what we know here is what we read now when Jesus is coming is after tribulation. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, the sun gonna be dark, the moon not gonna shine, not give her light, and what else?
And the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven.
He come finally. Go ahead.
And then shall all tribes of the earth mourn, and they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory.
With power and great glory. Because he coming to take over. What he gonna do about his people now? Go ahead.
And he shall send his angels with the great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds, from one end of heaven to the other.
Now he putting them angels to work. He gonna have the trumpet blown. They gonna gather his people from all over. Now keep in mind, he got a great flock of people already in the wilderness at this time. They gonna have been there for 3.5 years. But those are the people that really was doing his will. That's the key. Where we come in now, we want to be doing his will. So we can already be there when he comes. Some probably going to get changed and meet him in the air when he show up. Either way, you want to be in the wilderness. Let's go to 1 Thessalonians 4, because we got to read this rapture scripture. This is the main one that they got. Matter of fact, they read something in Matthew, because later on it said 2 going to be in the field. I should have read that. But it's down further in Matthew 24. And it said 2 going to be in the field, 1 going to be taking the other left. But keep in mind, all that was after Jesus came. That wasn't some pre-tribulation stuff. That's what they want to put it on. They want to act like, well, we're going to get swooped up before the trouble starts. That's a lie. There's no swooping up. Only swooping up is when Jesus is coming back, resurrecting his saints. And that's what this is about. 1 Thessalonians 4 and 13. Go ahead, read it, my brother.
But I would not have you to be ignorant, brethren, concerning them that which are asleep.
And that's the amazing thing about this passage that people have taken out of context and made a secret rapture out of it. The whole context of it is simply about dead folks. Paul was trying to comfort some people who evidently had lost some relatives, had died. Paul is trying to comfort them, and they done made a secret rapture out of it. If you pay attention to each verse from here on down, every verse gonna mention some dead folks. And they never tell you about dead folks when it comes to a rapture. They saying, oh, I'm just gonna be swooped out the way. We're gonna be gone, my car gonna be unmanned, all of that stuff. No, this is about dead people. He said, I would not have you to be ignorant, brother, concerning them which are asleep. That's dead. That you sorrow not, even as others which have no hope. He said, I don't want you to be over sad about your lost, your dead loved ones. Why? Verse 14.
For if we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so them also which sleep in
dead.
Jesus.
Even so them which sleep, which mean they dead. Again, dead folks is what the conversation is about. We ain't talking about no living folks being swooped from a time of trouble. We talking about dead folks that's died in Jesus. He said, look, you ain't got to worry about them. Why? Even so them also which sleep in Jesus, go ahead.
Will God bring with him?
Because God gonna bring with him, verse 15.
For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain unto the coming of the Lord
shall what?
Shall not prevent them which are asleep.
Dead. Not prevent them which are asleep, which mean dead. He talking about dead because even when he kept telling the disciples, well, you know, Lazarus sleep. They thought it was literal sleep. And Lazarus, oh, it's good, he sleep. That's good, he sleep. They said, no, Jesus said, we got to go. I'm going to go. Lazarus sleep. He said, well, if he sleep, it's okay. He said, look, he dead. He dead, I'm going to wake him out of death. Because they didn't get that. But he talking about dead folks. This is what this conversation is about. He trying to comfort them because evidently they lost some of their loved ones. For this we say unto you by the word of the Lord, that we which are alive and remain to the coming of the Lord shall not prevent them which are dead, which are asleep. They're going to be okay. Why? Verse 16 now.
For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout.
Now the Lord is coming. And the Lord is only coming back one time. We read about his coming in Matthew 24, and we saw concretely it's after tribulation, brothers and sisters. Tribulation over with by this time right here. I'm just showing you this because people are going to use this to tell you this is a secret rapture before heaven, so don't tell me about no wilderness. No. Tribulation is over with. It's a secret rapture before tribulation. Tribulation is over with by the time you get here. It's over with. Jesus is coming to put an end to it finally. He said, for the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout. Go ahead.
With the voice of the archangel and with the trump of God.
And there go the trump of God, which signaled in Matthew 24, verse 31, the gathering of all the rest of God's saints. He said he's going to send his angel with a great sound of a trumpet. But that was all after tribulation. And they're going to gather together his elect from the four winds. Going to gather the rest of the Israelites. He said, with the trump of God, and what's going to happen?
And the dead in
And
Christ.
the dead, still dead, still talking about dead people. And they hadn't went to heaven like people that lied to us. They've been dead all along. And the dead in Christ shall rise first. Now we finally get down to what people want to make a rapture out of it, and they're going to take this one verse out of context when the whole conversation is about death. It's crazy. And notice, it's still going to mention the dead. It's only mentioning the living people in connection with the dead. Verse 17.
Then we which are alive and remain.
Now we finally got to some live folks. Then we which are alive and remain, but it's only in connection with what? Go ahead.
Shall be caught up together with them in the clouds.
With them who?
The dead.
The dead. Who we've been talking about all along, which is what this conversation is about. Only the dead folks. That's what it's about. So he didn't come here to bring no secret rapture that they're going to take from a half a verse. Before tribulation, when he really talking about the dead going to come back when Jesus come, which is automatically after tribulation. Over with. It's too late to get raptured by now in here. For the Lord himself shall descend from heaven with a shout, with the voice of the archangel, and with the trumpet of God, and the dead in Christ shall rise first. Then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them, the dead, in the clouds to do what now?
To meet the Lord in the air.
See, they finally got their rapture, but this, brothers and sisters, is the second coming of Jesus. Tribulation is over. Remember, Jesus is coming to do what? To the man that moved into his temple. He coming to destroy him with the brightness of his coming, with the spirit of his mouth and the brightness of his coming. See, he doing all of that. He coming to put an end to the madness. There's no secret rapture. The saints just meeting him in the air. The dead saints first and the living saints second, meeting him so they can reign with him, those that's worthy. Probably, I'm sure, some people in the wilderness going to be meeting him in the clouds at this time. Because who more qualified than them to be resurrected? They was worthy enough to escape the worst time on the planet. You know they got to be qualified. He said, then we which are alive and remain shall be caught up together with them in the clouds to do what?
To meet the Lord in the air.
To meet the Lord. He ain't taking you to heaven either. You meeting him as he's approaching to touch down on this earth. And what else?
And so shall we ever be with the Lord.
So read 18 just for the argument's sake. Go ahead.
Wherefore comfort one another with these
Why
words.
does he say comfort one another? Because he's talking about somebody that lost a loved one. So comfort, look, your dead relative going to be okay if they knew the Lord. They going to be straight when he come back. He going to resurrect them. That's all he's saying. Got nothing to do with no rapture. When did you see tribulation in any of these verses and get you away where you don't got to worry about? But this is the main verse that they going to use to tell you, don't worry about tribulation. You're going to get raptured on that. Just a big lie. Revelation 3, and this is it. Revelation 3, and this is it. Because this is the criteria you need to have if you want to get on board with this flight plan, brothers and sisters. This is what you want to make sure you got in your bank account, so to speak. You might not have too much money. You might not even have a passport, but you better make sure you have this. 3 and 10, read it.
Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth.
See what he said? Because you done this. This is the reason. And this is the time we've been talking about, brothers and sisters. This is the time. This is the great tribulation. And the only escape is to the wilderness. We saw that. You flee. He gonna help you out with the eagle wings and all of that, symbolically speaking. But you would have had to have been obeying him, keeping the word of his patience, which ain't easy in this wicked world. He said, look, because thou hast kept the word of my patience. This is the reason why. I'm going to do what again? Read that sentence again. I
also will keep thee from the hour of temptation.
He said, I will keep you from the hour of temptation. That's the great tribulation. Go ahead.
Which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth.
It's going to come on all the world because the man going to be giving people the mark all over the world. Bow down and worship all over the world. And if you take that, you're going to hell. So it's best not to even have to experience or deal with that at all. So in order to do that, we need to make sure we're watching the signs, obeying God, and flee when that time comes. Go ahead. Let's read a little further.
Behold, I come quickly.
Now, Jesus said he come quickly because all this leads up to him coming. The great tribulation or our temptation precedes his second coming. So we want to make sure that we obeying God because that is the criteria, he said, that he will allow you to be kept from this terrible time. And how he going? We know already how he going to keep you, brothers and sisters, by you fleeing and getting away to that place of safety, which is the wilderness. He said, behold, I come quickly, so what you got to do in the meantime till he come? Go ahead.
Hold that fast which thou hast.
Hold on to what you got. What do he mean? The word of God that you follow, because people fall off every day. People get tired of this walk because it ain't easy. People get tired of this walk and be ready to throw the towel in, be ready to go back to their old life. He know that, so he warned you. So much for being saved. If you was saved, we wouldn't be reading all these scriptures about this stuff anyway. But we definitely wouldn't be reading, hold that fast that thou have. That means if Jesus got to tell you to hold something fast, you can let it go. He said, I come quickly, hold that fast that you have, that what?
That no man take thy crown.
That no man take thy crown. Even what they're going to be trying to do during tribulation, they're going to be taking crown because if you bow down, you just lost your crown. You could have been in line to get a crown. Like those of us that follow the Lord, keeping the Sabbath day, his laws and statutes, period, got faith in Jesus. Hey, we right now, we in line for a crown. Don't fall off and lose it. You can lose it. This is what he's telling you. Go ahead.
Him that overcometh.
So that means it's a challenge, it's a fight we have to overcome. And if you overcome all of this, hopefully we can escape to the wilderness, won't have to deal with the hour of temptation. That makes it a lot easier at the end point. Him that overcometh will what?
Will I make a pillar in the temple of my God.
But that's predicated on overcoming. Go ahead.
And he shall go no more out.
Mm-hmm.
And I will write upon him the name of my God, and the name of the city of my God, which is New Jerusalem, which cometh down out of heaven from my God. And I will write upon him my new name.
My new name. So that's why I ain't arguing over no old name right now. Brothers get caught up on talking about you got to say a name. You can't read that, and you ain't got the new name. So if you had the new name, maybe we could talk. But hey, I'm going to go with the name I got all over this Bible, the same Bible that showed me all the other stuff I got. I understand about serving God, who we are. Israel is this black people curse. It tell you about everything. Tell you about Jeremiah 10, tell you about a Christmas tree. He ain't told me about no different name I need to be calling right now. And the name of Jesus all over this Bible, so it's good. It's good for me. Hope you got some understanding in that name of Jesus. We got some regular announcements.
We welcome you and hope today's lesson increased your knowledge of the Holy Bible. CDs and DVDs of the Sabbath lesson are available. Please place your order and donation in the offering envelope, and it will be filled on the next Sabbath. The children's class ages 5 to 12 starts at the same time as the adult Sabbath lesson in the assigned location. Bring your child so that their knowledge may be increased. Train up a child in the way that he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs 22:6. Adult and teen question and answer is from 4:30 to 6:30 after the Sabbath lesson. We have a question and answer every Wednesday 5 p.m. via telephone conference line. The number and access code are located at the top of the lesson. Or see the live stream of our question and answer at www.kingdom7.com. If you are interested in being baptized, please place your name on the list at the literature table. Remember to follow the dress code when attending our services. Men should remove all hats and all head coverings during service times. Women should wear a head covering, such as a hat or scarf during the service. Women should not wear tight-fitting pants or skirts or revealing clothing. Attire should be modest according to the Bible. If your child becomes restless during the Bible lesson, we encourage you to remove your child from the room until he or she is settled, or you and your child can watch the service from the family room. Your tithes and offerings are always appreciated. Please place your tithes and offering in the offering envelope and deposit it in the offering box. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated. Again, thank you for coming, and we hope to see you on the next Sabbath. Peace.
Peace.